guys, you're back with IDED of IDED Online, with Tennessee Gaming, and of course, Space Nerd himself, for another episode of the Zelda adventure map build that we're doing. So as you know from last time, we managed to finish off actually getting the buildings sorted, and now we're looking at actually doing the insides of the actual buildings themselves. Now, I'd like to thank VictorMan30, who actually sent me a picture set of all of the buildings. So we've got actually the internal pictures all sorted out now, thanks to Victor. So thanks very much, buddy. It's very kind of you. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually look at how to do the internals. So before we start, we're actually going to need to go over the mods we're going to use for this. Now, if you guys have seen in our previous videos and underneath the videos themselves, we've put down that they're actually using Enhanced Portals 3, which is a very complex version of Enhanced Portals 2, which I imagine is mostly a really complex version of Enhanced Portals 1. So let's go have a look, because basically we've got one set up in true Blue Peter fashion. Here's one I made earlier, and here we have some lovely doors as constructed by the nerd himself, and we have this portal inside here that is hard to see because we've painted it black, and because like Tennessee's big butt is in the way.
There you go. That took care of him.
That took care of that problem. So yeah, we've got this portal here, and if you're wearing the cool little 3D glasses, then you can actually see more elements of it. So if we, you're getting rid of your turd helmet.
I cleaned my helmet off.
All right, let's go through, and then we can actually show them the next part, because the next thing you need to know about is this. So on everyone's screen, hopefully everyone's wearing their glasses, they can see all these funky different little coloured blocks on top of the wood. Now that's because the actual portal frame here has been like basically coloured in using blocks. And so what we'll do is we'll actually go into this. So have you guys all got a wrench? Got a wrench?
I got one.
Got it.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the basics of making a portal, okay? So what you need to do is you can actually build a portal of any shape. So you need these things that I've got in my hand here. This is the portal frame. So I'll put one down so you can both steal it or whatever you need. So here we go. So let's go for a practice run of making a portal. So basically just build yourself a giant portal frame of some type. It doesn't have to be giant. You can be any size you want, but I want a complete shape. So it can be however you want it to be. But it needs to be a complete sort of thing. SpaceNerd's going all creative with his archway.
No, I'm making a spaceship.
Is that what you're going to call it? Is it? It's a spaceship.
Yeah.
I used to draw those on my maths books at school, and I tell you something, that wasn't a spaceship.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
It's a spaceship, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, of course. So, yeah. Nothing suspicious about that at all. So there we go. So we've got SpaceNerd's spaceship, and TG's gone for the classic donut shape. Now, these two perfectly fit together amazingly. I'm not really going to go any more into this. This is all going way too fast. This is turning into a sex ed class, honestly. So if you put the spaceship through the hole,
you need some lubrication.
Okay. So now we've got our two different frames here. Let's go into the next part. So the next thing we're going to need, actually, I need to go grab the blocks for this, is we're going to need ourselves these. These are the dimensional bridge stabilizers. So I'm going to put these down. Now, for you guys, if you don't have to take these if you don't want to, but you mostly want a copy of these for later anyway. Now, as you'll mostly see on the description of it, if you have a look, it actually tells you the minimum dimensions for this structure, because this structure is actually a multi-block structure. So we need to build one that is basically move space, taking up space. See, space takes up space. Okay. And there we go. That's our complete structure. Now, if someone wants to right-click on that with their spanner for me or their wrench, it changes. There we go. There's our multi-block structure, and there you go. It's been enabled. Now, the next thing we're going to need, which I'm going to grab a load of these, and I'm going to throw some of these at you so you can have them. These are location cards. These lovely little purple cards. We're going to use these to initialize our portals. Okay? So if you go onto this dimensional bridge stabilizer, right-click it again now with your wrench, you'll see it opens up an interface. Now, in that interface, you can put one of those little purple cards in the slot, and thusly it will set the location using that. So if you then take it back out, you'll notice the card now says location set on it. The little card there will say location set. Have you got that?
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Excellent.
now, okay.
Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add a couple of extra blocks into our portal frames. So what you guys both need is one of these, and one of these. So we've got a portal controller, a redstone interface, and the network interface. Now this is the very basics of making enhanced portals for each portals. So if you've got one of these each, I need you to now put one of each of these into your frame. So if you go to your frames and you can just put one of each of those in there, so replace blocks of the portal frame with those. And it doesn't matter where they're located. Because literally, once you take your glasses off, you can no longer see these, believe it or not. This is the cool thing about it. So if you all got that, you've all got it sorted out. Yeah? Okay,
Yep.
now get your location card, the one you've got that's set, and I want you to right-click on the portal controller. That's the purple one. Right-click your location card. You should see something say portal initialized or something similar.
I did, yeah, cool.
Excellent. Okay, so now our portals are actually active. We can actually use these portals to connect to each other. Okay, so this is the great thing about it. So now if you use your wrench on your actual portal controller, you'll see it comes up with unique identifier. Now I've already used the never start and the diamond, but I want both of you to basically pick one symbol each. And you're going to have to tell us what it is, so we both know.
This looks familiar. Okay.
Yep. This is very similar to the original Enhanced Portals 2. So this is where it becomes similar. So if you set your unique identifier, both done that.
All right. Diamond horse armor.
You've chosen Diamond Horse Armor, and TG, what have you chosen?
I'll go with the creeper head.
Creeper head.
Creeper
All right
head.
then. Yeah. Get those chicken heads. I mean creeper heads. All right. Anyway, now I need you to both click on your network interface
Okay.
with your wrench. Now in there, we both need to choose the same object.
Right.
Okay. So you're in your network identifier. You both need to choose the same one. So between you, we need to decide. So what one are we going to choose for our network identifier? What's going to identify the network for these two portals that are going to be connected to each other?
I think the fireworks rocket would be.
Okay, so if you both set it to the fireworks rocket,
Right.
you then see that underneath it says portals on this network 2 or something like that. It should say portals 2. Yeah, you
It
both
does.
got that? Excellent. So now both of you have got a portal with a unique identifier that's connected to the network. Okay. So you've got your unique identifiers, you've got your network interface, and then obviously you've got your redstone element there. Now what we're going to need to do is we're going to actually need to power these now. So what we're going to need is a lever or something else that we can connect to the side of your redstone interface. So you can use a torch, a lever, whatever you want to activate it. I wouldn't suggest a button, because a button will only last a couple of seconds. So just chuck something underneath it or whatever.
Does it have to be on it? Underneath
Yeah,
it? Beside
well,
it?
it could be connected to it via redstone. It could be on it.
Bless you.
Yep, my missus is dying of the sneezes right now. I'll edit that out later. Oh, dearie me. But yeah, all right. So if you guys have done that, if you then one of you can flick your switch,
Which
you'll notice that both of your portals are now active. Look at that, magical portals. And so if you walk through a portal, you'll notice you come out the other one.
nice.
Look at that, magical portals.
That's so cool.
Okay, now next, because we want to have it look all cool and funky, like the portal we've made previously, like this one, we're going to need something else. So I'm going to give you guys these. So I'm going to actually have to grab a couple extra of these because I've only got one on me. I didn't expect to be doing a show and tell, so here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck those onto my bar, and I'm going to throw them out. So you've both got one each. There you go. Now this is the module manipulator upgrade. So what I need you to do is just chuck onto a block that's currently unused in your portal frame. Right click on it with those. And you'll get
Just one?
and it'll just one. That's all you need. And you should see that a little chip appears. So once the chips appeared, you actually need some chips to put in there. So I've got some chips for you.
Is this an Intel chip or is it AMD?
Well, these ones are special, so we're not supporting any major brands here.
Okay.
But yeah, with those chips, so if you mostly want to share them between you and stuff like that, but I need you to put one of each of those chips into your little chip area, your module manipulator.
So wait a minute. You want me to put like in each little square needs to be a chip?
Yeah, each square. So you want to put one of each into the 3 little squares at the start.
So the facing module.
Yep.
The particle destroyer module.
Yep.
That's all the modules I have.
Oh, a TG, have you got a silencer module that you could share with space?
Come on, share.
Silence.
Mr. IDED, TG's not sharing.
Please, sir, can I have some silencer modules?
I need the other one. I have the silencer and the particle, but I don't have the other one. Oh wait, yeah, dude.
Basic?
Never mind.
All right, there we go.
Facing. Bingo.
Just going to rain them down on you. So there you go. So you've both put those modules in there now. So now if you activate your portal, if we just activate one of them, it doesn't matter which one. You should now notice that there's no particles coming off your portals. Well, see, this is the problem we were discovering previously. I have to look inside your modules there like that. But now on mine, it's doing what it should be doing. So there you go. You've got no sound from it. And you've got nothing else coming off of it. Okay, so the next thing, because we've now got a silent one that has got no sort of sound effects or anything like that, we need to do the next element of it. So if you guys want to grab yourself a nano brush.
A nano brush?
Yeah, I can give you a nano brush. There's a nano brush. If anybody needs one. I'll throw nano brushes everywhere just because I'm the king of nano brushes. Okay. Alright, so now you've got your nano brush. If you go up to your portal frames and right click on them with your nano brush, you're going to get a really funky little interface appear. I'm going to do it on TG's. So now we've got this. You may, if you've got any eye open, you have to press O to get rid of it so you can see it properly. But you'll notice there's several different factors that you've got here. So you've got the portal look itself. You can click on the little buttons just below, and you can dictate the color of the portal. You've also got one that's got a picture of like an animated effect going on. That's the actual the elements that come off the portal that you can change the color of those and even what they look like. You've even got some really funky extra little bits that you can choose from, so that you could have it look like little love hearts if you're feeling romantic, or you could have it look like fireworks and other stuff. So you can actually color in your portal as you see fit. But you'll also see there's one for facade, which means that you can change the portal, the blocks on the outside, to look like anything you so desire. So you can have it look like wood, it could look like dirt, it could look like ice, it could be anything you want it to be.
Can you see my particles?
I can't, because I've looked inside your module manipulator, and so now on mine there are no particles, but I imagine on yours they most probably look awesome. So what...
This is so cool.
Yeah, so you've made some awesome stuff with it.
Oh, that's sick.
See, and there we go. And Tennessee's done his as well. So we've both got some really funky looking portals there.
Whoa.
Oh.
Look at that hole. Jeez.
Wow. This looks so cool. All right, let me do the facade.
Okay.
That is so cool, dude. That's like easy customization. I didn't think it went that far with that mod, to be honest.
Yeah, no, this is why I chose this one originally when making this mod pack. Because I thought it gives a lot of sort of, a lot of flexibility with our designs, and that's something that's quite important. There we go. So now SpaceNerd has got a giant diamond space rocket. Space rocket.
Helmet head.
I'm
so
a
there
rock.
We go.
Get man.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh no. And
So
I fell through
this
the ground.
dimensional bridge stabilizer could just be like underground somewhere?
Yes, it could. Or you could do what I did with the previous portal. This one here, as you must be noticed, you can't see it anywhere. But that's because inside the house that you can't get into, because when you do go through into it, you come out here. It's inside that house.
Oh, very sneaky.
Yep, so it's all hidden in the house. So there we go. So that's how you make portals. And that's what we're going to need to do for each one of the houses here. But first of all, we need to get the sizing of our houses set up so we know how far apart they need to be, each portal. So that's the first element. So there you go. So there's a little educational, little bit of extra information, little side diversion for you there of how to make enhanced portals. So there we go. So there's a little bit of education in this episode. For everybody watching, you now know how to use enhanced portals free, which is extremely complex when it comes down to it if you don't know what you're doing.
But after that quick explanation, it's more powerful than Enhanced Portals 2.
Oh, yes, massively.
It's just a headache a little bit, but
yeah,
hey.
It's extremely expensive in comparison as well, because the actual recipes for these are ridiculous. I don't know if you looked at any of the recipes when we were looking at them, but if you do check it out, you'd have to have gone to the Nether, you have to have diamonds, you have to have a lot of very expensive materials to be able to make yourself a portal out of this stuff. So I'm kind of glad that we're working in creative. Otherwise, this would be ridiculous.
Look at this. Wow.
So, yeah.
Not cheap.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I kind of preferred enhanced portals too, because if you were using like just in a normal server, that one's actually affordable, whereas this one is really not. It doesn't like you making portals. You're not really allowed to do it basically because they've made it so costly. You need to be a rich man to have just 2 portals.
Now, I'll bring up a quick question for you, friend. Given that we have to build those little structures every time, can they accidentally mess up? You know, like if you put a bunch of command blocks, one tends to override another, dare I say. Is that the same problem we'll face with a lot of these portals in here, or no?
No, that's the whole beauty of the network interface, because you know the unique identifier, that we could use that for a dialing upgrade, which would mean you'd only be able to dial each other's portals. But if you remember the network, we both chose the same network for both of those portals that you made. That network actually dictates what portals you could dial to full stop. And because there's only 2 portals on that network, all they can do is dial each other. There's no way for them to dial any other portal. So as long as we use a unique network identifier each time we make a portal, it will forever and only ever and ever and ever only be able to dial the other portal that's on that same network. And that solves the issue. So we just have to make sure we use a unique network. So I think what I'm going to most probably do as we do this, I'm actually going to jot down in a notepad which ones we use each time we do it. Because obviously, as you saw, there's like 10 blocks or something available to use across. So there's like, I don't know, there's millions of possible options.
It's impossible to run out of combinations.
Yeah, so as long as we make sure we know all the combinations we're using. Because obviously this map will eventually become very complex with these, because we have so many doors that we're going to have to do. There are so many buildings.
Just in here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, I think.
Yeah, and that's just in this bit. There is so much more. There's so much more. So there we go. So that's the thing. So I'm going to have to jot them down each time we do it. So that's the unique information for you. So there we go. So are we all happy with that? Everyone happy that we're using enhanced portals? Everyone knows how to do it. So the next thing we're going to need to do is actually get on to do some actual building of internals of houses. So I think
that's my favorite.
Yeah, so I think we're going to have to choose a house each, and everyone's going to have to set up the portal. So I've already set up the portal for this one, so I'm going to mostly go through and start getting the inside of this one laid out. But you guys both need to build your original portal. So you know how to do it, so go pick a house and then rebuild that inside of that house, because you're going to need that portal in there, ready and set up, looking all nice and sexy, and all the rest of it. So get to it, my minions.
Quick question: how do you do that whole thing again that you just told us?
It's that moment in class. I gotta pee.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. But there we go. So that's it. So that's the information as much as I'm going to give you on it. So deal with it.
Look, I already made the multi-block thing. I'm jamming.
Cool. And I'm going to go destroy the portals that you have made on the other map, and I'm going to get rid of SpaceNerd's gigantic spaceship.
It is a spaceship. I don't know why you guys were laughing about.
I had no idea. Yeah, no, of course not.
Yeah,
the young and innocent space nerd. No idea.
Here's the thing, man. How do we know how wide you're going to be making your interior? That's
it. I'm going to have to go through my images, which I've got, to then pick out the bit that I'm going to do. So then that'll give me the dictation of how wide mine will be, and you'll need to do the same for yours. So for now, you could just build at the furthest point from mine you could possibly build, if you know what I mean, because that guarantees enough space.
Yeah, I'm thinking about running down here to the end and at least getting the portal part set up and go from there.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because I made this pretty big, so there's definitely going to be enough space. It's going to be odd on how we do this, because we had the map so precise, block for block, in certain spots, and now we're just going to be randomly building, what we need. It's kind of weird. Let's see.
Well, admittedly, we do need kind of space between each one of the houses as well, because it'd be a bit weird if you could hear your friend in a different house doing stuff, like opening chests, wouldn't it? Especially if they're like miles apart on the map. It would be a bit unsettling.
Right, and also if you could look out the window and see another house that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I'm going to go through your portal to make another portal.
Yep.
Now, you said that I need to go back to where I was.
I wish the chips would just work straight away without me having to check the portal modifier. Because I'm really upset about it not working correctly straight away, because I hate the sound of the Nether portals. It is the most horrible sound.
Yeah, I always make my portals really far from my house because they're the worst.
I might just replace the OGG file with a blank audio file, just so like on mine it will never play ever, regardless.
Oh my god, there's a rainbow particle module. Why is that on my spaceship?
There's a good reason. We're not. Oh dear, it's back to hippie flipping space, isn't it again? Space hippie returns with his rainbow-colored flower portal.
Now, which one does the card go into again?
The card. You need to put it originally into the multi-block structure. So if you do, okay, and then it should go to the portal controller. You need to look at that and right-click it, and then it should activate your portal. And that should be it. The portal initialize.
This card no longer links a valid dimensional bridge stabilizer.
Did you not put it in your new dimensional bridge stabilizer?
Am I not doing it right or something?
Well, you need to put it. Did you build a dimensional bridge stabilizer, the multi-block structure? Did you build that again?
Yeah.
Like in your new house? Oh, you did. And did you put the card into it?
Yeah.
Oh, it may well be because if the card had been previously written to, you put it. Because if that same card had already been in the previous one that we'd had on this area, then it may still be linked to that one. So you may have to actually go back, make a brand new card by pulling it out of the creative inventory, and then that should allow you to set a new one. Because if it was already set beforehand, I don't think it can overwrite it.
I'm having a little bit of an issue.
Okay.
What's your problem then, Space?
Why can't I open my portal controller? I think I put it wrong or something.
All right, that's. Where are you? You in the house? Are you on the map?
Yeah, I'm in the chicken house.
You're in the chicken house. All right, I'll come to you and let's have a look. What have you done? Oops, sorry.
All right, so I right-clicked the purple one with the
No.
wrench.
You've got to put your card into. Why are there so many holes in your house?
Don't ask.
Don't want to know what you've been doing to this poor floor. There's all these holes in it. But yeah, if you need to put the card in here, but make sure the card hasn't already been set up.
Got it. Yes.
And now you can right-click it with your wrench.
All right, so this one.
And now does it work?
Blaze powder. Yeah.
The network interface keeps saying you must set a unique identifier before doing this when I click it with the wrench.
Network interface. Yeah. You need to do it in the portal controller first. You need to set up the unique ID for that portal.
Oh yeah. We'll set it to.
But what would you guys do without me? Maybe tell you. Maybe I should have spent a little bit longer on the explanation. I don't know.
I can't dial
I feel
the
like a
portal I'm
bad
dialing
teacher.
from.
Yep, you're damn straight you can. You can't dial the same portal. But that's because you haven't got a second portal linked to this yet. You need to go make your other portal now.
Right.
So you've still got your dialing card. Make sure you've got the same dialing card. And now go through that portal and go pick yourself a spot for your new home. There we go.
This is good as any.
Okay, so we're all happy with that. Everyone's happy with the portal construction techniques and all the rest of it.
So far, so good, man. No complaints.
Fantastic.
Well, when you guys are ready then, I think it's actually almost time to wrap up this episode. Believe it or not, crazy as it is, we've actually already spent mostly all of our time. So,
well, because you made it so entertaining for us, Mr. IDED.
Oh, well. You've got a very brown nose there, Space Nerd. And I thought you'd taken the mud helmet off. All right. But nonetheless, when everybody's ready, I think we should wrap up for today. You've all been very good students. You all get an A+ and a smiley face from me because you did such great work.
That's going to be
guys. How about a like for the rocket ship?
Or helmet head, like for the helmet head.
Deary me. But yeah, so nonetheless, guys, thanks very much for joining us for this little brief look at what we're doing next and where we're going to go with this. In the next episode, we'll be getting on to actually building the internals of those houses, so you'll get to see some amazing stuff popping out of nowhere and all of us portaling all over the place like absolute mental cases. Now you see me, now you don't style stuff. And I'm Vin IDED, signing off. Say goodbye, TG.
See you guys later.
Say goodbye, Space.
See you later, cosmonauts.
He actually just jumped into the water. I was like, all right, not like completely goodbye, but all right, see you then, buddy.